So I just recorded like half of this video and then realized that I never actually pressed record. So, take two. Alright. Hello everybody. Levi here. This is going to be my How I Knew I Was Trans video. Sorry if it kind of jumps a little bit. I probably should have wrote stuff down, but maybe next time. But okay, let's get started. The first time I realized that I was trans, okay, I wouldn't say that I knew that I was trans. I was, like, when I was 3 or 4, I just knew that I was different. I never liked any of the, like, the regular girl toys or anything like that. Like, instead of having one of the play kitchens, I had to play barbecue, and I had to play tool shed and stuff like that. I never opened any of my Barbie dolls for Christmas. I would literally open the wrapping and see if it was a Barbie doll. If it was a Barbie doll, I would usually just leave it alone. I can remember getting in trouble for walking around with my shirt off when I was probably about like 5 or 6, because I also used to hide all of my dresses and skirts and like all of my girl clothes. I would just hide them all the time so I wouldn't wear them. When I was younger, I used to be forced to take ballet and tap dancing, and I fucking hated it. But I remember I used to hide my ballet shoes so I wouldn't have to go, because I hated putting on the tights and that stupid tutu. Like, every time I see the picture of me, like, from dancing when I was like 5, I kind of want to burn every copy of it that exists, but my parents might be a little upset, so I'm not going to. They might also notice that they were missing and yell at me. Let's see. And then when I got older, I realized that I started liking girls, and that terrified me to death, because I mean, I grew up in a pretty religious family, and so I only knew one other gay person growing up, and that was my mom's best friend from high school. But I only met him 2 other times, but all I had ever heard was, oh, he's cool but he's gay, so whatever. Yeah, weird. And I just heard bad things from my dad, especially with him doing preaching and stuff like that. I mean, we've definitely come a long way now, but when I was younger, especially like 13, 14, even when I came out in 11th grade, me liking girls was like, I don't know, like the worst thing in his head, it felt like. We definitely didn't speak for a while, and I came out in 11th grade, but even then, I always, like, I was like, okay, I like girls. Like, I'm glad that I'm kind of, like, accepting this, even though I feel kind of weird about it. I'm glad that I'm coming out about it. But then I just, like, something didn't feel complete. Like, I didn't think anything was, like, it just didn't feel right. Like, I knew that I like girls, and yeah, but, like, I don't feel like a lesbian. I feel like just like a normal dude who likes girls. And I remember always, like, growing up thinking, everything would just be so much easier. Everything would make so much more sense if I had a dick, or, you know, and it was a lot of confusions. And I remember, I don't know who I was talking to at lunch, and like someone brought up like the idea of trans people, and I was like, people do that? People, that's a thing? People can get sex changes? What? And I went home, and I think I like logged into my dad's computer and like as him, so I could like look up trans stuff without the internet history being kept. And I remember I just started watching like YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video, and then I was like, holy shit, I think that I'm trans, but I can't be trans because that's wrong, and people that are trans go to hell, because that's what I was taught. And so it was just a lot of struggling back and forth. And I think that I like had that conversation maybe in 10th grade about trans people, and then I didn't even like say out loud to anyone that I thought that I might be trans until my senior year in high school. I remember I was talking to my friend Shelby, and I like looked at her and I was like, would you still be my friend if I were a boy? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I don't think I said anything about it again for a really long time. And then I brought it up to her a couple other times. And then I remember we were sitting in graduation practice. Mind you, this is 6 years ago, so there's a lot of other stuff that happened in between me starting my transition, obviously. That will probably be later videos. But I remember she looked at me and she was like, you know, you keep bringing up being trans. I think that you're trans and that you should just get a sex change, because I think you'd be a lot happier. And I was like, I think you're right. Mind you, didn't listen. I ended up doing other things in my life that kind of derailed me for about 2 years, with me trying to kind of just deny who I am. I ended up working for a Christian organization and living there for 2 years and pretending to be straight, because I thought if I went there, they would fix me, and and obviously didn't work because I don't need to be fixed. So yeah, I ended up leaving there over a long series of events that will probably take like a gazillion videos to explain. So I'll just leave it at that. I ended up leaving, and I came back home. I was home for a while. I was really depressed about everything that had ended up going down. But eventually, I just ended up waking up one morning and just being like, I don't really give a shit what anybody thinks. And I immediately jumped into Google and YouTube looking up all things about being transgender and different trans guys and how to start transitioning and all the different laws and all that stuff. And the more I read, the more excited I got, and the more that I was sure this is who I was. Mind you, I was very sure that I was trans, but I was also very terrified of what that meant, because I knew that it meant having to come out again, because at this point I had been home for a while and I had come back out as a lesbian. I kind of, well, I like lied and said that I turned straight when I lived in Texas, which is not true, obviously. And I had come out of lesbian, so I was like, oh great, now I have to come out a third time as a trans guy. No one's ever going to take me seriously. But even knowing all that and knowing what it would mean as far as like things with my family, things are a lot better now. But at first when I told them, they didn't understand. I mean, they still call me by my birth name and by female pronouns still. So, I mean, things are slowly but surely working their way to better, but it definitely wasn't anywhere close when I was home then. So I ended up moving to Arizona, basically just so I could start my transition and start a new life and just kind of be my own man. And it's been pretty crazy. It's been hard, but it's been freaking awesome. And so I would just encourage anyone that's questioning to really delve into the internet and look into getting into gender therapy and really start asking yourself some hard questions. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful to any guys out there or anyone that was wanting to know more about trans people. I will be making more videos. I'll probably do another one tomorrow since it will be my 1 month on tea, which I'm super stoked about. I'll do an update video tomorrow. I'll probably do a pack review because I had someone on Tumblr asking me to do one. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay classy.